Hello everyone, this is Pavan. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install Python on Windows, and then I will show you how many ways we can run our Python code. Now let's get started. So let's start with the how many ways we can install Python. So before that, let's see how we can install Python on Windows environment. So normally the Python is an open source tool. We can just download the installer. Now let's go to the Google. So just type download Python. Okay, so when you type download Python, you will get to Python official website. Just go here, and in this particular website, you will see download Python 3.7.0. So this is the latest version is available on Windows. So when I click on this, it will just start downloading the installer.exe file. Okay, and once you get this exe file, you can just double click and start installing it. So I already have it, so I'm just discarding this. Now once you get an installer file, so you need to start installer, and then you will get, so this is the link you have to download, and once you click on the download exe file, you will get this particular screen. Now click on the install now, and it will go and do the setup process, and it will take few minutes of time, and finally it will end up with a successful message. So these are just a few screens it will go, and it's very simple to install Python. So once we have done this, just close that window. Okay, this is how we need to install Windows on this is how we need to install Python on Windows operating system. So currently I have installed Python 3. Okay, so once you have installed this Python on Windows, you need to do one more step. So where this Python will be installed by default, the location will be under C drive, under program files x86. So under Python 3.6.4, this is the current location where the Python is installed. Right, so we need to configure this path in environment variable. So that's another step we need to do. So let's copy this path and go to my PC, this PC, go to properties and go to advanced system settings, and it will open up one more window. Here go to environment variables. Now you can see here, let's go to the path variable. Now go to click on edit. Now you can see somewhere I already configured that path of the Python. If I don't see that particular path, you need to add that particular path here. Let me just click on new and just specify the path like this. Okay, I think somewhere I already added. So here you can see I already added my path, so I'm just removing this. Okay, so this is how we need to do the configuration first time. Once we have configured this path, and then click on OK button. Now OK button, and then OK button. So this is how we need to install the Python first time. So once we have installed this Python, now I'm going to show you how many ways we can run the code on Python. So there are almost 6 to 7 ways we can run our Python code on multiple environments. Now let me show you one by one. So the first method we can execute is uh, the first method. Okay, so we can run our code. We can run our Python code by using python.exe file. Python.exe file. This is the first method. Now I'll show you how we can do that. Let me just save this file. Let's say base. Okay, so we can execute the Python code in different ways. So python.exe is the one method. So where we can find this python.exe file. So we already installed Python, and this is the location, right? So go to this location, and here you can see python.exe file. Let's click on this python.exe file, and it will open up one command prompt like this. Okay, this is a kind of a shell. So here we can directly write our Python code and we can execute. Now let me just write a simple code here. So this is your Python .exe file shell window. So here I will just write a small hello world message by using Python code. So here I'll just say print, and here in the double quotations I will write hello world. Okay, and then press enter. So this will give you an output. And similarly I will define two variables. Let's say x is equal to 100 and y is equal to 200, and then I will print x plus y. Let's say print x plus y. Now this will also give you output as a 300. So this is a one way of executing the Python code. So by using python.exe file. So where we can find this exe file, wherever you have done the installation in that particular location, you can find the exe file. So this is a exe file. Okay, so this is the first method. So this is a method 1, and I'll show you the second method now. In the second method, once you have installed the Python, you will get a IDE again. This is also kind of a command prompt. So that is, let me just write it here, method 2. So in the method 2, you have to use IDEL. So this is also command line, like we can call it as a Python shell. Python shell. Now let us see how we can run our Python code by using IDEL. So here in Windows itself, let me just close all the stuff. Okay, let me just close this window also. Now okay, so now in the Windows, just go here and type IDEL. Okay, so when I say IDEL, so you will get this particular application, IDLE. Sorry, this is IDLE shell, which is coming with the Python installation. Now once you click on this, let me just minimize this Windows also. Okay, now I'm typing here IDLE. Okay, so now once you click on the IDLE, you will get this particular window. So this is also a Python shell. So here also we can just write our code. Right? So now let me show you how we can write the code in the Python shell. Just a second. Okay, so here I can just create one print statement, and here I'll say hello world. So I'll just say hello world, right, and close this one. So when I enter this, this will give you an output message. And similarly, I can also write something else here. I can just write, let's say x is equal to 100, and say y is equal to 200. And now I'll print the sum of x plus y. I'll just say print x plus y. Now it will also give you exact output. So this is another way of executing your Python code. Okay, by using IDLE. So this is one of the IDLE. Okay, this is one of the shell we have. This is called as a Python shell, IDLE. Right, so in this particular shell, okay, this is a fine. So in this particular shell, we have another way of executing your program. So I will tell you that by using file, new file also we can do that by using the same IDL. So by using new file. So here we can save the code in a new file and we can run it. Let me just show you that. So this is our Python shell. So in this shell, what I can do is go to file and click on the new file. Right, so it will open up one more window like this. Okay, so here I will write a program now, Python program. Let me print something called print. This is one. So I have just written one message, and also I will create one more message, print. Okay, so welcome to Python world. Okay, now I have created two statements in the Python new file. So once we have created this, let's save this file. So go to file, and you can save this file any location, but we have to give .py as an extension. So always the Python files will be saved with .py extension. Now let me store this in the desktop. I will give you a name called test.py. Okay, always the Python files will be end with the .py. Now let me save this on the desktop. Right, so now I have saved. Now how we can execute this now? So we have option called run option here. You can directly use run module. So when I click on this run module, it is executed. Now you will see the output here. See now? So here I have executed by using run module, and you are getting the output here on the shell. So this is the other way of doing. So parallel, you can also do the changes here, save it and run the program here. Let me just do some changes. So let me add also x is equal to 100 and y is equal to 200. I will print sum of two numbers. Let's say print x plus y. Right, now again save the file and go to run, and again click on run module. Now again you will get the output. This is Pavan, welcome to Python world, and you will get the output. Okay, so this is how we can just use IDLE, and we can directly write the code in command prompt like here, and also we can write the code in the file and save the file, and you can see the output here. So this is the method number 2. Now I'm closing this. Okay, so in ideal, directly we can write in the command prompt or command prompt, and we can also create the code, or we can also write code. So write code in new file and then run it. Okay, save and run it. So this is another approach we have. Now I'm going to show you another approach. So we have so far seen two approaches. One is by using .exe file, and the other one is using IDLE. Now I'm showing you how we can execute through command prompt. These two are shells. Okay, python.exe or IDL will be open the shells, Python shells, default shells. So those shells you will get once you have installed Python. Now I'm going to show you now the method 3. So in the method 3, so we can just use a normal command prompt, Windows command prompt. So by using Windows command prompt. And here one more thing we need to remember. So if you want to execute your code through Python shells, you no need to add your Python home path to your environment variables. We have already done this before, right? But if you want to execute this your code through command prompt, Windows command prompt, you must add the path your Windows environment variable. So we already done here, right? So let me just show you once again. So here, this PC, go to properties window, and here in advanced settings and the environment variables, right? So here on the path variable, and we already added the Python path here, home directory path, right? So this must be there if you want to run your code through command prompt. Now once we have done this, now let me just open a command prompt now. Okay, so Windows command prompt. Just type cmd here and it will open up one command prompt. So this is your command prompt, and in this command prompt I can just type a command called, okay, just I need to type a command called Python. Okay, so this is the command I have to write. So once you click on, once you have written the Python, just press enter, right? So press enter. It's not going. Yeah, now it is giving the version number and all. But if you don't configure the path in environment variable, it will give you the another message like Python keyword is not able to identify the internal external command. So that kind of error you will get. So before executing this command here, you need to configure the path in environment variable. That's the first thing you have to do, right? So now here, before writing the program and all, please check. Okay, so when I give Python here, it will give you the version and it will give the command prompt here. So here also we can write your Python code. So let me just write the Python code here. So again I will write print hello world, okay, and then quotations close. Okay, now you can see the same output we are getting. And similarly, if I define a few variables here, let's say x is equal to 100 and let's say y is equal to 50. Now if you want to add them, let's say print x plus y. Now it will give you 150 as an output. So this is how we can execute our code using Windows command prompt. Windows command prompt. Just we need to just type a Python command here, keyword, and then it will give you a command prompt, and there you can write all our Python code and execute it. So this is another approach. So by using Windows command prompt, we can execute our Python code. Okay. Now we'll see the another approach. So method 3. So method 4. So in the method 4, so far we have just seen all command windows, right? So even python.exe will open the command window, CLI mode, and even IDL also will be there in the CLI mode, and Windows command prompt is also CLI mode. So all these three approaches comes under the CLI mode, command line interface. Now I'm going to show you how we can write the code in Notepad++ or Edit++. Either we can use there are any editor is fine. Let's say Notepad++, there is an editor called Notepad++, and or Edit++. We have Edit+2, right? This is an editor where we can write anything. So that's called Edit++. These two are open source. Okay, so we can write our Python code either one of these editors, and we can execute that code through command prompt again. Now let me show you how we can do that. So here I have a notepad++ tool. So let me just open this. So this is my notepad++ tool. Okay, now this is my notepad++ tool. Now here I will write a Python code here. Okay, and I need to save this file with the .py extension. Remember this, I need to save this file with the .py extension. Now let me just first save the file. Okay, just save as. On the desktop I will give you my file name is test.py, and then save it. Now this file is saved with the .py extension. Now I can write a Python code here. Now I will write again same code. Let's say print welcome to Python. So here I have written some code, and also I will write some other code. Let's say print. Okay, so this is again one more code. Print. This is Python. Okay, Python class. So I have created a few statements here. Now the save this file. Now this file is already saved with the test.py, and where we have saved this file under this particular path. So if you go and click on save as, so under this part desktop we have saved this. So you can see the path at the top, C: users admin desktop test.py. So this is the location where I have saved this file. So once you save this file, you can close this file, or we can just make it minimize. And now we already opened the command prompt, right? So we can just close this. Now I'm going to show you how we can execute this file. So because why now we have created a file, so test.py file, right? So which contains the code, which contains the Python code, and we have also already saved the file somewhere, right? So now how to execute this file, test.py file. So if you want to execute this, again go to command prompt, let's see cmd, and right. So here I will show you how to execute this file now. So if you want to directly write a command here, you just type a Python keyword here. It will give you the command prompt, and there you can write all the Python statements. So that we have seen earlier in the method number 3. But in method number 4, we are doing the same thing again. We are running the same thing, but here we are running the file. So Python file which contains the Python code. Now here I will just type Python. What is the file name here, and before that, where is our file? We need to go to that location, or we need to give the complete path of the file. So either we need to do one of the way. So either we need to go to the file path, we need to change this path wherever the file is exists, .py file, or we need to give a command here, let's say Python, and we need to give the complete file path here. So either one of the thing we have to do. Okay, now let me just check where my file is present. Now my file is present on my desktop. Now I will get the this is here. It will give you, if you right click on the file and see the properties, you will get the path of your file. So here I have saved my py file. Let's go to that directory. So cd and give this path, and now you will go back to your directory, and here your file is present, .py file is present. Okay, now I will execute that particular file. So how to execute the file? Test.py file we created, right? So Python test.py. So just give the Python as a keyword and specify the name of the Python file, test.py. Now what we have created as a code, so print, the 2 print commands we have created, right? So now when I run this code, let me just run this, right? So now you will get an output. So the same 2 statements we have executed, right? Now let me just add some more thing here in the same file. I will just add x is equal to 100, y is equal to 300. Let's say x is equal to 200, y is equal to 300. I will print some of these numbers. Print, okay, and 200 plus 300, right? Now I'm printing these 2 values and put them in the brackets and save the file. So once you have saved it, minimize this, again run the same code again one more time. Now we can see you will get the latest update or latest output. Okay, so this is a other way of executing your Python code. So what is the difference between third and fourth? In the third also we have opened the command prompt, but here we don't specify any file. So we have just go to Python command prompt, that will be shown like this, and here we have executed the commands, all the commands directly without creating any file. But here what we have done is we have just created the file which contains the code. Okay, create a new file, okay, or by using either Notepad++ or Edit++, and add a Python code to that particular file and save the file and then save it. So once you have done this, you will get created a test.py file, and now we can run this file by using again same command prompt. So once we have created this, how we need to run? Again, go to that file location, and then the command is python test.py. So this is how we need to execute the command, execute the file, which Python file which contains the code. Now this is the fourth approach. Okay, and now I'm going to show you one more approach. And the next one is online compilers. Suppose you have installed Python in your system, but there are some issues with your installation of some configuration. So you are not able to execute, or you are not able to run your programs in your local system. Suppose you have a requirement like you need to immediately verify whether your code is working fine or not. So in that particular conditions, you can go and use online compilers, Python online compilers. So there are n number of compilers are available online. Now if you go to the Google and search for that, just type here Python online compilers, online compiler. So if you type it, you will see a lot of compilers are available online. So the best and most two compilers I am going to show you here. So one is Python 3. This is a one compiler. And there is another compiler called ripple.it. So this is also one more compiler you can see here. So these are all online compilers. So on spot you can directly type your code and you can verify it here output. And this is one more compiler we have. So here you can write all the code and you will compile it, and then you will get the output here. Now let me show you the first compiler. This is called Rex Tester. Okay, so here it is currently using Python 3. And we can just make this layout side by side. Let me just put horizontal, so output can be seen here. Okay, so here I will create some messages. Let's say print okay, so here I will write this is my Python program. So here I have written some message, and once you created this message, click on it run here, run it F8 button. Okay, once you click on this button, you will see output here. So this is on spot, you can execute online. Suppose if I say here x is equal to 100 and y is equal to 200, if I want to print sum of these two numbers, I can just say print x plus y. And now again execute this code, you will see the output here. This is the online compiler. So you can also do, and you can also use another compiler which this is very popular compiler online, like ripple.it. So here you can just create a code here, write your code here, and then click on this run button, and then you will see the output in the console window. Here you can see the output. So these are all online compilers. So there are n number of compilers are available. If you want to execute your Python code on spot online without installing any Python code in your local system, and then go for this. Okay, these are all online compilers. And then, so this is one of the approach. Okay, so what is that? Fifth approach, method 5. Method 5 is by using online compilers. So by using online compilers, so here in online compilers there are two popular compilers we have. So one is this one, retester.com. This is one of the compiler, right? So the other one is Ripple compiler. So there is another compiler called ripple.it compiler. Okay, so I'm writing it here URL. So I'll just give these notes in the description. So this is online compilers are available. So by using online compilers, we can execute our Python code. And along with this, we have last methods by using IDEs. So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. We'll see method 6. In the method 6, we can use IDE. So IDEs, there are n number of IDEs are available, like PyCharm is a very popular IDE for Python, and we can also use Eclipse for writing Python programs. So these are two very popular editors for writing and executing your Python code. So first we will see the uh, PyCharm IDE. Okay, so method 6 is a PyCharm IDE. Let me write it here. PyCharm Integrated Development Environment. And this PyCharm is also a kind of a tool which is open source, again freely available. So we can just download and install this. Let me show you from where we can download this. Just type here PyCharm. Okay, press enter. Now we will navigate to jetbrains.com. This is a company, they have developed this one, and click on PyCharm. So here you can see all the download options of PyCharm. So here, so once we have click on this download option, you will get a small exe file. Okay, so I already downloaded it, so just I'm not going to download anything. Now you can go here. So let's go for community and professional. There are two versions are available, and community is a completely free as well as open source. Let's go for community edition. Okay, and click on this download, and it will start downloading your PyCharm. And before that, okay, so here it is started. So I already have this exe file, just I'm discarding it. So once we have downloaded this PyCharm, and you need to install this software in your system. The complete software you have to install in your system. So just by pressing exe key, it will go to few steps, and it can be easily installable on Windows. Okay, so once you have installed PyCharm, so I already installed, and let me just show you how the UI will be. So this is your PyCharm software. So this is a tool, PyCharm tool, where we can write all our Python code. Okay, so here the first thing is we need to create the new file and a new project. Let me just create a new project for Python, and all these projects will be stored in your PyCharm projects workspace. First time when you open this PyCharm, it will ask you for the workspace, and then you need to give some workspace. This is our default workspace where we can create our programs. Now here I'm going to give a new project name. So here I will give you my project. Okay, let's say my test project. My test project. Right, so this is my name of the project. Now click on the create, and now okay. So as soon as I have done creation of your project, so the project will be appeared on the tree. So let it take some time. Okay, now create a new project here. So my test project. Right, so under this project, I can just create all our Python files. So let me just right click on this project. So if you expand this external libraries, you can see all the stuff. And this under this project, I'm going to create a new Python file. Right, so here you need to give the name of the file. So let me just give something called test, and we need to save this file as a .py as an extension. Right, now the file is created here, and also it will give one editor here. So here we need to write the Python code. Now here again I'll write some message. Print here hello, welcome to PyCharm. Okay, now I have given some message in print command, and along with this I will also print some more. So hello, welcome to Python, and hello, welcome to learning. Okay, something. So I have created a few statements in this editor, and now how we can run this? Just click here, run test. Right click here, run test. Now when I click on this, it will give you output here. So in the bottom window, you can see the output. Okay, and similarly, you can also write some code here. X is equal to, let's say 100, and y is equal to, let's say 200. Now I will print some of these two numbers. Let's say print x plus y, and again run the code, run test, and now you will see the output here. So this is again one more popular IDE for Python. Okay, so but we need to install it. We need to download first and install this software in your Windows operating system, and then you can use it. So this is how we need to use PyCharm IDE. Okay, this is another method, and the last method we have is method 7 by using Eclipse IDE. Eclipse is also IDE, but most of the time we use Eclipse for Java, but we can still use Eclipse for Python. So this is for Eclipse. You can use Eclipse IDE. Okay, and but we need to install one plugin for Eclipse. Now I'll show you how we can do that. So in Eclipse also we can do that. Okay, now let me just share small screen here. So when you open your Eclipse tool or Eclipse application, go to your help, go to Eclipse marketplace, and here you will search for PyDev. Okay, so this is a add-on or plugin we need to install on your Eclipse if you want to if you want to work with the Java project, or if you want to work with the Python projects in Eclipse. So once we have installed this one, so PyDev, and just go to help marketplace and search for PyDev, and it will give you one plugin here, and then click on install button and it will be installed. It will take a few seconds and then finally install. So once we have installed this, okay, and now we can open your Eclipse. Now this is my Eclipse. I need to create a new project, Python project. So here already created here. If you see here, this is my Python project. So under this project, there are some Python libraries. By default it is displaying, and here I can create a new Python file which contains some code. So here click on your Python project in your Eclipse and then go to new, and here you need to select a file. Okay, and what file we need to select here, what file we need to create, not a Java related file, we need to give the .py extension. And there is also one more way, just right click here, new here, go to other. Okay, go to other, and here you can see the PyDev. So inside the PyDev you can just select here PyDev and module. So there is an option, right? So here you can just select this one. Okay, then click on the next, and it will create a new project actually. So instead of this I will just create a new file, and here under okay, just give some name here. So here let's say test dot, I'll give test.py. Okay, now finish it. Now it's created a new Python file, test.py. Now here you can write the same code again. So I will write, let's say print okay, so welcome to Eclipse Python. Okay, so this is a message, and along with this I will also print a few messages, and here welcome to Eclipse Python world, and welcome to, or I can just say this is Python from Eclipse. Okay, now we have written some code here, and now let's run this. So right click here, you can just run as Python run. So this is the option we have to use. Click on Python run. Now it will give you output in your console window. And similarly I can write some code here. Let's say x is equal to 100 and y is equal to 200, and now I will add these two numbers. Let's see, and print x plus y, right, and then execute this code, run as Python run. Okay, now okay, so we have missed these brackets, so we need to, these are mandatory thing. So let me run this code now. Don't specify any spaces. Save this again and then run the code, run as Python run. So now we will get a exact output. Okay, so this is how we need to, this is the last way, the seventh way. So by using Eclipse IDE, but here we need to install PyDev. So we need to install a PyDev plugin for Eclipse, and then we can create all our Python projects and Python files, and then we can execute. Okay, so these are the 7 ways we have to run our Python code through command line interfaces, by using online compilers, by using UI editors like PyCharm and Eclipse. Okay, so right, so that's all for this video. So let me just finish this. So please subscribe my channel to get more updates. Okay, so thank you all.